The entertainment business is currently in shock with the release of a huge bombshell, which naturally features 50 Cent, the king of online trolling and industry warfare. Fifth, who is renowned for his no-holds-barred approach to rivalries, is said to have taken his long-standing feud with Atlanta great T.I. This time, it's not just about a versus fight or a clever Instagram post. It's about a documentary that purportedly unearths material that was never intended to see the light of day, to a level that many are calling too far. We are discussing T.I.'s private video, and Zenique Lee, his stepdaughter, that has emerged in an unexpected setting. The industry is in shock, and fans are split. Although 50 Cent is well known for his get-rich-or-die trying mentality, his most recent action in his planned documentary series has provoked a contentious discussion over the limits of media warfare and family privacy. Is this a genuine piece of investigative journalism? Or is it a planned attempt to damage T.I.'s reputation by including his family? Although there has been simmering resentment between these two titans for years, 50 Cent may have gone too far by including Zenique in the conflict. Opinions on the internet are currently divided, with some applauding 50 for his truth-telling and others advocating for a boycott of the enterprise. We are dissecting every facet of this topic in this in-depth analysis, from the particulars of the video that has everyone talking to the potential legal repercussions for 50 and, most crucially, the terrible effect this is having on the Harris family dynamic. This is now a high-stakes drama unfolding in the public eye rather than merely a rap dispute. We must examine 50 Cent's methodical approach in order to comprehend how we got to this position. He is a master of psychological warfare in addition to being a rapper. The conflict between T.I. and 50 Cent lasted for years. Was a social media game of chess. But 50 has completely changed the rules since the release of this documentary. Zenique Pullins, T.I.'s stepdaughter, is included, signifying a clear change from a professional competition to a very personal grudge. The goal of 50 Cent's The World of Snitches, or the Atlanta Files initiative, was to undermine T.I.'s public reputation as the king of the South and a loving family father. The focal point of this first act is the private video in question. According to sources, the footage comes from unedited, raw outtakes from the family's prior reality TV projects, particularly The Family Hustle. In the reality TV industry, thousands of hours of footage are left on the cutting room floor. Moments that are judged too damaging, too controversial, or too raw for a family-friendly brand. Through his extensive network of industry insiders and unhappy former associates, 50 Cent is said to have obtained these lost tapes by displaying a particular heated exchange between T.I. With Zenique, 50 Cent is trying to change their family's past. He is offering a fresh, harsher perspective on T.I.'s leadership at home, not simply a video. The video itself shows a tense moment. Although the general public is accustomed to seeing T.I. provide lengthy, philosophical talks about protection and morals, but this leaked footage reveals a more combative, domineering side of the rapper. It draws attention to a conflict over Zenique's autonomy and personal decisions. In order to highlight Zenique's body language and portray her as a victim of an overbearing father figure, 50 Cent's documentary employs slow-motion replays and menacing sound effects. Here, 50 wants the world to think that the protector image T.I. In reality, projects are a front for a dictator mindset. 50 Cent knew he was striking a nerve that no number of diss tracks could possibly reach by bringing Zenique into this. In order to break free from the stepdaughter of a legend stereotype and become an independent mother and artist, Zenique has worked years developing her own identity. There are no rules in 50 Cent's playbook, but many industry veterans consider it foul play, as her private family vulnerabilities were revealed to millions of people as part of a hit piece. He contends that if T.I. going to use reality shows to make money off of his family, then the public is free to witness the real reality, the bits that were concealed. By using talking heads, former bodyguards and employees who worked for the Harris family during that time, the documentary makes matters more complicated. These people offer a terrifying analysis of the released video, saying that what it depicts is only the tip of the iceberg. They explain that Zenique had to deal with a setting of stringent regulations and intense observation. 50 Cent makes a strong, if biased case that T.I.'s home was a scene of conflict rather than the hustle and family joy depicted on VH1 by superimposing these testimonies over the private film. How can you lead a culture when you can't even maintain peace in your own home? The narrator asks as the first segment of the documentary comes to a close, setting a somber tone for the remainder of the series. 50 Cent has effectively changed the topic of discussion from T.I.'s music and commercial success to his personality and how he treats people closest to him. In what is turning into the greatest high-stakes character assassination in hip-hop history, friends and enemies of the king are being forced to choose sides, sending shockwaves across Atlanta. Atlanta's mood changed from curiosity to outright animosity as soon as the program aired. The extent of 50 Cent's treachery is said to have blindsided T.I., who is renowned for his eloquence and ability to handle difficult societal topics. The fact that 50 Cent dug into T.I.'s private life to extract a vulnerable moment was more significant than the mere distribution of a video. For T.I., this was an attack on his fatherly legacy more than a rap feud. According to people close to the rapper, his Grand Hustle office's phone lines were lighting up in a matter of minutes as family members and legal counsel hurried to put out the online fire. Zenique Lee became the center of attention right away. Being the main character in this private video, Zenique was put in a difficult situation. In order to raise her own child and have a private life, she had spent years defining her own identity and stepping away from the OMG Girls era and the spotlight of reality TV. Her most awkward adolescent experiences were now being utilized as weaponry in a billionaire's fight. She didn't like how she was portrayed in the documentary as a victim of T.I.'s harshness. According to reports, she felt violated by 50 Cent's choice to publicize her personal life without her permission rather than by her stepfather. Ironically, 50 Cent was utilizing her image to get millions of views and clicks for his own project while claiming to be freeing her from a controlled atmosphere. The next person to break the stillness was Tiny Harris, T.I.'s wife and Zenique's mother. Tiny, who is regarded as the Harris family's unifying force, responded with strong maternal protection. She started posting mysterious messages on social media about loyalty and snakes in the grass, which were obviously directed at 50 Cent. However, things were far worse behind the scenes. The family was forced to relive the conflicts from the past that they had fought so hard to resolve as the documentary reopened old scars. The video that 50 Cent published was more than simply a clip. It was a trigger for a family that had previously endured court disputes and public attention. T.I.'s legal team had already prepared cease and desist orders by the second hour of the documentary's premiere. They claimed that the video was stolen property, raw data from a production business that no third party had ever been given permission to use for commercial purposes. At this point, the narrative abruptly veers into the legal gray zone. 50 Cent, who has been involved in 1,000 lawsuits, had his own group of top attorneys prepared to defend themselves. That the video was of public interest since it featured well-known people and revealed the truth behind a reality TV character. The second stage of this conflict is essentially defined by this legal chess match. In the conflict between right to privacy and freedom of information, 50 Cent was wagering that public opinion would decide in his favor before a judge could. A new story started to take shape as the internet analyzed each frame of the video. These days, people were examining the industry's power relations rather than only discussing the strictness. 50 Cent featured interviews with previous business leaders who asserted that T.I. utilized his reputation as a family man to land big TV contracts and sponsorship deals. By displaying the private video, 50 Cent was effectively making accusations against T.I. of fraud involving brands. He wanted the networks and advertisers to realize that the wholesome, reformed T.I. that they were purchasing was a well-crafted fiction. This action directly targeted T.I.'s finances, which is always 50 Cent's main objective. When 50 Cent mocked T.I.'s legal threats on Instagram, the atmosphere reached a fever pitch. "You can't sue the truth, tip. Tell the people what's really on the rest of those tapes." He captioned a screenshot of a legal letter with a laughing emoji, which was a chilling signal that more was to come. Zenique's private video was merely the first act. 50 Cent was hinting that he had a collection of videos that might ruin people's careers. The Harris family was under tremendous psychological strain. When your opponent has all the cards and nothing to lose, how do you combat them? The code of the streets was being discussed everywhere in Atlanta. Family is traditionally considered to be off-limits in any conflict. 50 Cent was heralding a new era of celebrity warfare where nothing is sacred by disobeying this unwritten norm. He was viewed by some as a culture vulture who was destroying a black family for amusement, while others commended him for being a truth-teller who wasn't scared to expose the hip-hop elite. The pressure on T.I. was intense, and the documentary was trending at #1 globally. The pressure to react big way was growing. The script concludes with T.I. gets ready to give his followers a rare, live-streamed State of the Union speech. He was no longer going to hide behind attorneys. He was going to confront the accusations directly. However, 50 Cent was still in possession of hours' worth of unreleased film. Entering a trap? A showdown that would either clear his name or confirm the harm 50 Cent had already caused was inevitable. The strain became unbearable when T.I. broke his quiet at last. He opted for the unvarnished, unedited medium of a live broadcast rather than a polished news release via his attorneys. He addressed the private video that 50 Cent had used against him while sitting in his studio, appearing tired but unflinching. T.I.'s defense relied heavily on the idea of cultural context. He said that 50 Cent was distorting a moment of discipline, a father attempting to mentor a young daughter in a risky field, into something sinister for the purpose of entertainment. He addressed his supporters directly, stating, "A father's job is to protect, even when it's uncomfortable, even when the world is watching." However, it was unclear if the harm had already been done. As T.I. Zenique was fighting for her mental health, while he was fighting for his reputation. The collateral harm done to a young woman who never wanted to be a pawn was the most terrible aspect of the entire documentary, not the rivalry between two grown men. Eventually, Zenique issued a remark that startled both parties. She didn't compliment 50 Cent or fully support T.I. She criticized the media's predatory nature instead. She clarified that because she was the daughter of well-known parents, her upbringing was captured on camera, preserved, and then sold to the highest bidder. A victim narrative that she didn't want suddenly overshadowed her career, which was at last gathering traction on its own merits. In actuality, 50 Cent's help had turned into her greatest obstacle. 50 Cent refused to back down as the documentary's last episode came to an end. He actually doubled down. He argued that the facade of the ideal hip-hop family would have continued to deceive young fans if he hadn't released that video. And he used the series' conclusion to raise a philosophical point on the era of accountability. The way 50 Cent presented the leaks as a public service demonstrated his genius or cruelty depending on who you ask. The documentary had succeeded in creating a before and after moment for T.I.'s career by the time the credits rolled. The King of the South was no longer untouchable. Instead, he was under constant scrutiny and had to explain his domestic dynamics to a worldwide audience. The ensuing court dispute will go down in history. In response to T.I.'s team's attempt to sue for intentional infliction of emotional distress and copyright infringement, 50 Cent's legal team invoked the fair use concept, claiming that the video was transformative and had a journalistic purpose. The entertainment industry as a whole shuddered at this. It meant that any reality TV personality, whether current or former, could have their lost tapes purchased and sold as documentary evidence if a competitor had the money to do so. Celebrities used Zenique's private video as an example of why they should never let cameras into their homes, not even for controlled reality shows. The music scene in Atlanta was affected in the months that followed the release. The legends of the city no longer shared the same kinship. Fearing 50 Cent's digital fury, some musicians remained mute, while others supported T.I. and demanded a digital ceasefire. However, 50 Cent had already moved on to his next victim, leaving the Harris family to pick up the pieces. Tiny and T.I. allegedly underwent intensive family therapy to mend the trust that had been damaged by the public's response to the video rather than the film itself. In an ultimate act of independence, Zenique chose to focus on her own daughter away from any cameras and completely disassociate herself from the family business for a period of time. In the end, this story altered the guidelines for participating in celebrity conflicts. It demonstrated that your private existence in the digital era is only as private as the hard drive of your most irate coworker. 50 Cent issued a warning in addition to a video. He demonstrated his ability to enter his adversary's inner sanctuary and use their own memories against them. There is no doubting that 50 Cent prevailed in this battle, regardless of your opinion of him as a cunning truth seeker or a vicious bully. All he needed was a URL to a secret folder. He didn't even need to make a diss track. Looking back at the T.I. and Zenique video scandal, we can see that information is the most powerful tool in the world of high-stakes celebrity, not a gun or a microphone. Even after the documentary is over, the discussion it sparked about family, privacy, and the morality of business rivalry will continue for years to come. T.I. 50 Cent is still sitting on his throne of turmoil, waiting for the next private moment to go public, while the king is still a legend, albeit with a somewhat tarnished crown. The story of 50 Cent and T.I. has formally changed the guidelines for industry warfare. We would like to hear from you now, though. By bringing private and family tapes into a professional battle, did 50 Cent finally go too far? Or do you think that nothing should remain behind closed doors in the realm of celebrity? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. We will read them all. Please hit the like button and forward this video to your friends and family if you thought this in-depth analysis of the Harris family scandal was informative. Click the subscribe button and enable all notifications if you want to remain up to date on more unique industry analyses and celebrity news such as this. Our upcoming investigative report is something you shouldn't miss. We appreciate your viewing and hope to see you in the future one.